So, okay, 10 o'clock, off we go. Thanks everyone for joining us. Lovely to see you all, as always. Ollie is back with what is today probably his most natural habitat.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Chatting about the platform that made him, should we say, famous, a bit of a sensation. Lots of words that we can use in that regard. So if somebody is thinking about kind of diving into the platform YouTube, Ollie is definitely the man to speak to, because he kind of built up an almighty following on the platform. So I myself have literally just set up a YouTube channel. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Ollie has to say. I've got a couple of questions at the end, so but I will leave it to you. I'm going to put myself on mute, Ollie, and the stage is yours, because I know that you've probably got lots to talk about today on this subject.
I do indeed. All right. Okay. No problem. Right. So hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Yes, I've got lots of things to go through. I've turned them into kind of questions that I've kind of been asked in the past. So I'm going to just answer them like I would be answering questions. So there's different sections of this webinar today, and it goes from starting a YouTube channel to kind of optimizing your channel so people can find your channel, and as well as growing your channel, the do's and don'ts, and then some kind of final tips from me. So if we start off with about, starting a YouTube channel, the first question that you kind of have to ask yourself is, why are you starting a YouTube channel? What is it? Are you doing it to grow your business, or are you doing it to grow your confidence and kind of things like that? What's the reason why you're making a YouTube channel? And then you can kind of ask yourself, what content is your channel going to have? What's your channel going to be about? Are you going to do kind of fun, fluffy kind of videos where it's all like Q&As and challenges and stuff like that? Because they're very popular if you're thinking about doing like a personal YouTube channel. But on the business side of things, is your business, are you going to use YouTube as a platform to kind of network with people, interview other people within the industry to kind of better your exposure to others? And especially if you have like a unique kind of guest, they don't necessarily have to be famous and things like that. If they've got a unique story to tell, and and they're going to tell that story, then that's kind of content in itself. YouTube's all about being original. So if you can bring something new to the platform, then you're pretty guaranteed to have the kind of the views come and the engagement follow. So next thing you kind of got to ask yourself is, who's already on YouTube that are uploading videos that are similar to what you want to upload? Like, who are your competitors? I don't usually like calling them competitors for YouTube. I usually call them my YouTube neighbors, so you can kind of have a look over the fence and see what they're doing, but not necessarily copying their content, because like I said, YouTube's all about being original and being yourself when it comes to a personal YouTube channel, but original definitely when it comes to business. Because there might be loads of kind of products or services that other people offer the same as your kind of brand, but what can you do to stand out from the rest of the people already on YouTube? So what is the next kind of question that I had to ask myself was, what is the goal for your channel? I didn't necessarily ask this question at the beginning, because I was just kind of having fun with it. But when I realized that this is something I want to do for like a long period of time, so I need to ask myself, what's the goal? Where am I going with this? Is it because I want to become famous? Because if you're doing it for that reason, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You need to treat it as something, as like a hobby, something you enjoy doing. If you generally like putting yourself out on the internet and being funny, being yourself, then yeah, YouTube's definitely the place for you need to be. And also, if you're a business, what's the goal for your YouTube channel, for your business? Is it to sell more products and services, or is it to give your business more of like a personality and more of a relationship with the community, or more of a relationship with the consumers that are using your services? Which I actually think is a very important thing, especially nowadays, because it just builds that trust between the customer and the brand itself, which always leads people coming back for more, for sure. Okay, and then the next question is, who are you targeting your content to? Who is your demographic? This is probably really important, because you need to kind of think about that, because when you make content and stuff, you don't want to put it out to an imaginary audience. You need to kind of think about, okay, so who are my demographics at the moment? What will my content like attract to? Is it people aged 18 to 25 or 18 to 30? My personal demographic, which took me a little while to find out, because every bit of content I was making was fitting into the bracket of kind of 13 to 17 age people, to sometimes being 18 to 24. So I had to kind of differentiate between the two and figure out which one was more popular and go with that. So mine was 18 to 30, which was quite a range. So yeah, have a think about that. Who are you targeting to? And the next kind of question you kind of have to think about is, how often will you be uploading? Will you be uploading monthly, weekly, twice weekly, or once every 2 weeks? I would suggest, especially just starting out on YouTube, is to upload at least once or twice a week, just so you can stay in that constant flow, and also build up a bit of a bank of videos. So when people do discover your channel, you don't just have one video, because they'll watch the video and then they'll leave and they'll forget about it. But if you have like people on YouTube, I'm sure everyone can agree, can watch one video and end up staying on YouTube for like hours, and end up seeing videos of something that's not relevant to what you were looking for in the first place. I know I've done that many times. I still do that. I think I did that yesterday, to be honest. So yeah, you just need to think about how often you'll be uploading. And yeah, so the next question is what time you'll be uploading. This on a personal side, you kind of have to think about where are your current followers from, on other platforms like Instagram and things like that. Are they from the UK? Are they from the US? Anything like that, really. I think if you don't have another platform where other people are following you, then kind of you should aim it to your own, obviously your own country. I found that I started uploading at many times during like the day. So I would start, it's all very trial and error. So I would start off with uploading a video maybe at like 10:30 in the morning, see how that would do. And then if that didn't do so well, then I would try maybe like 12:30, maybe 2:00 in the afternoon. And then finally, I kind of reached a success point with uploading about from 6:30 to 7:30, between that gap, because everyone's just finished dinner or they're about to have dinner. So they're just, while they're waiting for the dinner, they'll go on their phone, watching a little YouTube video or something like that. And yeah, so that I found that the evenings were probably best for me. Yeah, to be honest, I think that's for the UK. I think that's the majority of people. However, if you're like reaching out to like kids and stuff, then maybe in the morning, because kids seem to get up extra early just to put on their favorite YouTube channel. So yeah, something to think about. So I just wanted to give like a quick recruitment tip for YouTube. I did this when I was wanting to work in London. I used, before I even started YouTube properly. I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't using it properly to the best of my ability. So I was obviously still looking for a full-time job in London and things like that. So obviously YouTube is video content. So I would upload my video introductions for specific job roles that I was wanting. I wasn't necessarily specifying the brand or the company. I was making it general, but kind of specific to the role. So whenever I was applying for these specific roles, I kind of sent them a link to the video, and yeah, so they could see that as well. But the best thing about that is that you can obviously upload that kind of video as an unlisted link. So only people with that link would be able to see that. So if you're looking for a new role and you kind of want to stand out from everyone else, then you sending them a link to that video of you for your video introductions is good. Something that is definitely something you could do. All right, so if we move on to the optimizing your channel part of it, this is really important because this is how you're going to kind of get the audience. You need to, first off, is once you've got your content, watch it through 10 times after it's all been edited, and figure out what the title could be. So obviously when you make the content, you already have an idea of obviously what the content is about. However, is there something within that video that you can use to bring people in? It's got to be something provocative, like something that's going to really pull them in. Something to be like, you know, if you saw a video yourself and you saw a title and it was something, I don't know, really random, but like cats jumping off a trampoline, like that's really random. So I'd be like, oh, okay, I want to see that. What does that look like? It's those kind of things that's going to catch someone's eye and just bring them in, which actually brings me on to what should the thumbnail look like. So your thumbnail and your title should work hand in hand. Your thumbnail shouldn't necessarily have your title in it, but it should be the next step from your title. So what else could possibly make this look provocative enough for people to be like, okay, that title's good. Oh, and also the thumbnail's looking pretty good as well. Like, where'd the cat go? It's like usually what people do is it's almost like a clickbait kind of thing. So say we're going with this cat idea. I don't know where it's come from, but we're just going to go with it. Okay. Okay, cat's jumping off a trampoline. So that's the title. And then on the thumbnail, you might see a trampoline, but there's no cat on it, but there's like an arrow pointing up, as if to say the cat absolutely went super high, and it literally shot up in the sky, that kind of thing, but without actually saying that. So when people come to your channel, they won't be disappointed because they didn't see that. Okay, so the next kind of step is, what should I write in my description? Descriptions are always so looked over, which is crazy because they are one of the most important things within a YouTube channel, or a YouTube video at least. You should always start your YouTube description for your video with the title of your video. I think this is just because it kind of helps with the search, because YouTube is a search engine at the end of the day. So it's like the second most popular. So first Google, of course, and then obviously YouTube. But now YouTube is owned by Google, so I guess they kind of combine as one. But yeah, so yeah, think about, once you put the title in, underneath, I would put something like, come say hey, or follow me on my other channels. So that's when you would put your links in through like your Instagram and things like that. It's a bit of a cross promotion thing. So new viewers that have only just seen you because of this video can actually see you elsewhere as well, your Instagram and things like that. But that's also perfect for a brand kind of thing, is so that you can cross promote your channels in order to kind of maximize audience growth. And then after the whole links and things, under that you should kind of write a short description about what the video is kind of about, and kind of give people kind of a blurb of the video, to be honest. And people love to have a look at the video before they watch it sometimes, just to see if it's going to be of any interest for them. So kind of think about what you're going to write in there in order to help that person click watch on that video. Yeah, because that could, the description can be a matter of whether someone watches the video or not. It just depends what kind of personality type you have, really, to be honest, because some people will just go, yep, saw the title, that looks great, thumbnail, yep, going in. But some people require more information, more detail before they go in, which is actually, to be honest, I'm pretty much like that. I just think, because I've seen it, sometimes people can really clickbait a lot, and you know, you can end up going onto their channel and being very disappointed. So I like to just have a little look and avoid the disappointment. So, okay, next is, should I use playlists? I think playlists, to start with, I don't think playlists are a big issue, to be honest. I wouldn't even really think about it. I would just think about making content and just focus on building up that library of videos so people can have a binge watch of your channel, because yeah, it's very important. But once you have that kind of library, you should categorize them, and all the similar content. Say you have like vlogs or something like that, you can put all of them into one kind of section, and then one playlist. And then the next one could be, say if you're a business, you could have interviews, so that kind of stuff. And then after interviews, you could have promotions, and just things like that to keep things organized. So when people come to your channel, they can be like, okay, I want to binge watch a load of interviews and learn things. So I think it just makes it cleaner, and people more like entitled to stay than, you know, go somewhere else, because all the content's there. And especially because after you watch a YouTube video on a playlist, the next one just automatically plays. It's all about keeping them onto your channel for as long as possible. And finally, should I create a channel trailer? Yes, that's very important. Like, you wouldn't go and see a film unless you've seen the trailer first. So why would people want to watch your videos unless they've seen a trailer? At least to begin with, anyway. So once you've kind of become established on YouTube, I think what I tended to do was use my latest video as my channel trailer. So that's the first thing people see when they come onto it, because it just plays automatically as soon as you go onto the channel. Well, if you're on desktop, if you're on mobile, it doesn't. But yeah, and they also used to have this. They've only recently got rid of it, but it's called tags. So when you upload a YouTube video, you have to write a load of tags in for people to kind of discover your video. I've recently just noticed that they've taken that away. So I'm not too sure why, because that was kind of the way that people discovered your videos and things like that. But I've learned that in order for your video to be pushed by YouTube to a wider crowd, it's all about engagement. So, which brings me on to the next section, is actually growing your channel, kind of the do's and don'ts. Definitely a do is engage with the YouTube community. If I could set you a task now, it would be, for every video you watch on YouTube from now, give the video like an insightful comment or something like that, to how much you enjoyed it or how much it's helped you. Because not only, well, one, people love to receive comments, but two, you can also have a potential of other people agreeing with you and liking your comment. And the more likes you get on your comment, the higher it reaches in the comment section, which leads to people being more inclined to kind of click on your channel and then become a subscriber from there. Yeah, so talking about comments, actually, so when you upload a video, you will, now and again from the start, you will receive like a comment here and there and things like that, my thing was when I was starting off, because I was so sucked in by all the kind of other influencers on YouTube, and I just wanted to be like them. So whenever I got a comment, I used to be like, oh, I've got a fan, this is great. Like, I don't know, do I reply? I don't know, like that kind of thing. But I've learned that you should definitely reply, because the algorithm of YouTube, like the rules of YouTube to allow your video to grow, then it's all about comments. The more engagement and the more comments, and that includes you replying to people's comments. That's so important, because it will push the video further and further, and then it will come up on suggested videos on channels similar to yours. It's fun. It's like a game, honestly. Yeah. So something to think about. Next kind of do is definitely join like a YouTube community group on Facebook or other social media platforms. Facebook's probably the best one, to be honest. I joined one. They're still going, by the way. If you are making like a personal YouTube channel or a business YouTube channel, I guess, they're called Small YouTuber Community on Facebook, and I've literally seen them grow from 1,000 members, and I think they've got like over 10,000 now. I think it's even more than that. But yeah, once you kind of engage with them, you kind of not only get kind of subscribers, but you also gain friends, and gaining like friends on YouTube is so important, because you just never know what's going to happen with their channel. And I know it's not like a matter of using them. It's not, because you've appreciated their content even before they were kind of big, and you've become friends with them even before, but they'd be more inclined to help you and help you grow if their channel was growing overnight. Because that's exactly what happened to me. I made all these friends and stuff, and I had 1,000 subscribers at the time, and then I got to know all these people, and it was so great. And then when suddenly overnight I went from 1,000 subscribers to 40,000 subscribers, it was crazy. And then a month, well, maybe like a year later, I got, what was it, 100,000 subscribers. And I was still friends with these people. I wanted to help them grow as much as possible, and I was giving them tips of what I've learned along this crazy, short, explosive journey. So yeah, definitely get involved. And that goes to my next thing, is connect with other YouTubers that are in your industry or are relevant. And just to let you guys know that YouTubers actually love LinkedIn. They just love connecting with people, and always looking for collaborations. Which actually, just quickly about businesses in YouTube, you can actually, obviously pay YouTubers to, promote your brand, which is so powerful nowadays. Like it's crazy. So if you were to pay a YouTuber to talk about your channel talk about your business channel, then that's probably the easiest way and the most relevant way people are going to buy into that kind of thing, because they don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to buy anything. They just are going to your channel. And then from your channel, you can show off your products and services and things like that. Right. So we're over the time. This has gone so quick. So my final kind of tips for you would be consistent, because there is no point in doing this if you're just going to upload now and again. Plan it out, be consistent, bulk film. I can't even tell you how important it is to be consistent, because you need to keep staying in that flow of people, just on the feed, stay in people's minds and things like that, and promote your channel constantly, not in a spam way, but like just give people value. People love value. What are they going to get out of watching your channel? So yeah, just be consistent. The next thing is celebrate every single view, even if it's like two views at a time. I can see people are putting little comments on the chat, but if anyone's got any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll answer them just after I've done these final tips. But yeah, celebrate every view. So important to celebrate every single tiny success, because you will have more of those. You will attract more of those into your life. If you're going to sit there and wallow on the 1 view you have, or like the 5 views you have, then that's all you're going to get continuously, because that's the kind of energy you are putting out into the world. just celebrate that. Oh my God, 5 people have watched my video. That I'm so proud of that. And it's not even the fact that they're counting your views, because your own views, because YouTube doesn't do that. It only counts people externally that have come into your channel. And yeah, that may be friends and family to start with, but that's great. Like, cool, I've uploaded a video, I'm really proud of it. Just keep going with it and let it build. Like I said, don't intend to be becoming an online sensation overnight, because it won't happen. Well, it could happen if you have a viral video, but you don't expect to have a viral video. Just expect that this is a hobby. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. If you're not having fun with it, then you're not doing it right, to be honest. Yeah, okay. So like, and also, yeah, don't be disheartened when you feel like you're putting a lot of effort into it and you're not getting much back. That's just the process. And think about it as you're just building a library of content that, so when your channel is big, people have so much to watch. And then it also develops your skills of being in front of the camera and your editing skills and things like that, which, you know, people get a bit scared about editing, but YouTube's there to help. Honestly, YouTube's there to, you could learn so much from YouTube, and you can learn how to edit. To be honest, I learned how to do all of like, well, I went to college and I did media, so I learned how to edit there. But when it came to like the After Effects and like the motion graphics on my videos, I didn't really listen in college because I found it too complicated. But then as soon as I finished college, I was like, okay, I need to focus on this more. I would just go on YouTube and figure out how to do things. Okay, what else is there? What else have I got to tell you? Okay, yeah, so finally, YouTube isn't for everyone, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Some people like reading and some people don't. Like, it's just pretty much the same as that, to be honest. You need to, I would suggest uploading 10 videos consistently for like once, twice a week. And by the 10th video, you will definitely know if YouTube is for you and whether you want to carry on with it or not. Or actually, if you're a business, hire someone to do it for you. So are there any questions?
We have had, thanks for that, Ollie. That was really useful. And we've had some good questions come through. There's one from someone here, which is they missed the first 10 minutes.
Oh.
And we've ironically recorded this, and we have started to post all of our content onto a YouTube channel. So we'll release the link for that. We normally get that done within kind of half an hour of these videos. So we'll pop that up, and then you can watch the whole thing live again, Karen. So just to kind of save going through the recap of the first bits and pieces. Some of the questions that have come through was, what was the name of the community that you mentioned earlier on?
I'll type it in here. It's just the small YouTuber community.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great fun, actually. They do a lot of chatting, and people bring up great videos and things like that you actually could get ideas off of, which is all, it's all very helpful stuff.
Good stuff. And so another question has come in here. Can you restrict chess? I'm not sure if this is written correctly. Can you restrict chess by the sections so only certain parts of the business have access to the videos on the interview? For example, that question is a bit complex to understand. I think there's a couple of typos in there, so maybe if you want to repoint that would be good. Somebody's saying how they can get people, how can we attract more followers and what have you? Is it just a case of, as you say, about the kind of more content and the engagement piece, would you say?
100%. It's the more content, and it's the channel has to kind of look good, to be honest. People on YouTube can be quite shallow and they won't click on videos that don't look great. So I would suggest, you know, customizing your thumbnails and things like that, and kind of creating a style that's gonna really help. And obviously it all depends on the content. If your content's great, then the people will come. But if it's boring, which is rude for me to say, but it's true, if it's boring, then no one's going to watch, and and it's all about watch time. It's all about how long people watch your video for. So you kind of have to think about it. It just requires a plan, and yeah, it's not just something you could just go, okay, we're going to quickly do this video. You got to just think about it, especially to start with, and then you'll kind of get used to it and just grow as you grow.
Brilliant. And somebody asked what your daily/weekly habit was to grow the audience and what have you. What kind of habits did you get into? Did you have a kind of content plan where you committed yourself to post X amount?
For sure, especially for YouTube, I would have set days and set times. I used to post on Thursdays and Sundays at 7:30. So that was where people would know exactly where I was and what time I was going to be there at those times a week. And then I would stay consistent on Instagram, because obviously YouTube, people watch YouTube just to watch videos, but in order for people to stay up with your business or your life, then they will go to Instagram or Twitter and things like that. So you need to just constantly stay active on all social media platforms, because that's going to really help you grow.
Yeah. And you know better than most the levels of conversation you and I have had about social media and what have you. I guess it's the same, listening to what you're saying about YouTube, it's the same rules apply for any social media platform. It's about having that consistency level there and committing to whatever that formula that you feel works for you, whether it's 5 posts a day, 1 post a day, once every other day, and just kind of staying firm to that really, and just making sure you're there. Somebody's asked whether you can restrict access to different videos. So is it a case of within your channel, you can have one video that's public access, one video that's not, one video that's private? Is there an option to do that?
Okay, so there is and there isn't. The only problem is that you can't give someone certain access when you go onto their YouTube channel. If you're going to only want them to see certain parts, then they have to receive the unlisted links. Especially if, like, you can do that with especially playlists. If there's a bunch of videos you want a few people to see, but you don't want the world to see, then put them in a playlist and then make that playlist unlisted, and then send that link to the person that you want to see.
Okay, good stuff. I've got a question which is personal to bits and pieces that I'm doing at the moment. It may be relevant for others, but I'll ask you here and now. I've kind of saved this question to ask here and now. I've recently set up a YouTube channel myself to kind of put the bits and pieces that I do with speaking and some of these things that we've done, and post them up there and see where it goes from there. I found some videos of me on YouTube that other people have posted on their accounts, which is like of different topics and speeches and stuff like that. Is there a way that that you can upload their video onto your channel? Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, probably you could ask them, but the chances of them still having the video and that kind of thing is probably slim. So what I would do is download the video. There's lots of websites that you can do that. I download the video and upload it myself.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for that. So has anybody got any questions? Does anyone want to come off mute and have a chat and ask a question? If not, I think this has been it's been really informative, and we've had lots of questions come through. So it's been a really good one today. Anybody got any anything? I think that we've covered all the questions. And as I said, this is being recorded now, so we'll release the link a bit later on. So if people want to go ahead and watch that, then feel free, and watch it back, anyone that missed anything at the very beginning, then definitely log on, have a good watch. And within that channel as well, there's lots of other videos on there as well. So thanks for your time, Ollie. We really appreciate your input.
Okay, see you later, guys. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great weekend.
Bye.